with empty hands. Where can I get money? Your Majesty, said the judge. There is in the world of the living a man who has deposited great sums of gold and silver in our region of darkness. You can use your name for a loan, and your lowly judge will serve as your voucher. We shall borrow a roomful of money from him and distribute it among the hungry ghosts. You will then be able to get past them. Who is this man? Asked Taizong. He's a man from the Kaifeng district in Hunan province, said the judge. His given name is Liang and his surname is Xiang. He has 13 rooms of gold and silver down here. If your Majesty borrows from him, you can repay him when you return to the world of light. Highly pleased and more than willing to use his name for the loan, Taizong at once signed a note for the judge. He borrowed a roomful of gold and silver, and the Grand Marshal was asked to distribute the money among the ghosts. The judge also instructed them, saying, "You may divide up these pieces of silver and gold among yourselves and use them accordingly. Let the great Tang Father pass, for he still has a long time to live. By the solemn word of the 10 kings, I am accompanying him to return to life. When he reaches the world of the living, he has been instructed to hold a grand mass of land and water for your salvation. So don't start any more trouble." When the ghosts heard these words and received the silver and gold, they obeyed and turned back. The judge ordered the Grand Marshal to wave the flag for guiding souls, and led Taizong out of the city of the dead. They set out again on a broad and level path, leaving quickly with light, airy steps. They traveled for a long time and arrived at the junction of the sixfold path of transmigration. They saw some people who rode the clouds wearing embroidered capes, and some with Taoist amulets of gold fish dangling from their waists. There were in fact monks, nuns, Taoists, and secular persons, and all varieties of beasts and fowls, ghosts and spirits. In an unending stream, they all ran beneath the wheel of transmigration to enter each into a predestined path. "What is the meaning of this?" asked the Tang Emperor. "Your Majesty," said the judge, "as your mind is enlightened to perceive the pervasive immanence of the Buddha nature in all things, you must remember this and proclaim it in the world of the living. This is called the sixfold path of transmigration. Those who perform good works will ascend to the way of the immortals. Those who remain patriotic to the end will advance to the way of nobility. Those who practice filial piety will be born again into the way of blessing. Those who are just and honest will enter once more into the way of humans. Those who cherish virtue will proceed to the way of riches. Those who are vicious and violent will fall back into the way of demons." When the Tang Emperor heard this, he nodded his head and sighed, saying, "Ah, how truly good is goodness! To do good will never bring illness. In a good heart always abide. On a good way your door fling wide. Let no evil thoughts arise. And all mischief you must despise. Don't say there's no retribution. For gods have their disposition." The judge accompanied the Tang Emperor up to the very entrance to the way of nobility, before he prostrated himself and called out, "Your Majesty, this is where you must proceed, and here your humble judge will take leave of you. I am asking Grand Marshal Zhu to accompany you a little further." The Tang Emperor thanked him, saying, "I'm sorry, sir, that you have had to travel such great distance on my account. When your Majesty returns to the world of light," said the judge, "be very certain that you celebrate the grand mass of land and water so that those wretched, homeless souls may be delivered. Please do not forget. Only if there is no murmuring for vengeance in the region of darkness will there be the prosperity of peace in your world of light. If there are any wicked ways in your life, you must change them one by one, and you must teach your subjects far and wide to do good. You may be assured then that your empire will be firmly established, and that your fame will go down to posterity." The Tang Emperor promised to grant each one of the judge's requests. Having parted from Judge Cui, he followed Grand Marshal Zhu and entered the gate. The Grand Marshal saw inside a black-maned bay horse complete with rein and saddle. Lending the Emperor assistance from left and right, he quickly helped him mount it. The horse shot forward like an arrow, and soon they reached the bank of the Wei River, where a pair of golden carps could be seen frolicking on top of the waves. Pleased by what he saw, the Tang Emperor reined in his horse and stopped to watch. "Your Majesty," said the Grand Marshal, "let's hurry and get you back into your city while there is still time." But the Emperor persisted in his indulgence and refused to go forward. The Grand Marshal grabbed one of his legs and shouted, "You still won't move. What are you waiting for?" With a loud splash, he was pushed off his horse into the Wei River, and thus he left the region of darkness and returned to the world of light. We shall now tell you about those who served before the throne in the Tang dynasty. Xu Mogong, Qing Shubao, Hu Jingde, Duan Jixian, Ma Sanbao, Cheng Yaojin, Gao Shilian, Li Shiji, Feng Shenling, Du Ruhui, Xiao Yu, Fu Yi, Zhang Daoyun, Zhang Shihang, and Wang Gui constituted the two groups of civil and military officials. They gathered with the crown prince of the Eastern Palace, the queen, the ladies of the court, and the chief steward in the Hall of the White Tiger for the imperial mourning. At the same time, they discussed issuing the obituary proclamation for the whole empire and crowning the prince as emperor. From one side of the hall, Wei Zheng stepped forward and said, "All of you, please refrain from doing anything hasty. If you alarm the various districts and cities, you may bring about something undesirable and unexpected. Let's wait here for another day, for our Lord will surely come back to life." "What nonsense you are talking, Prime Minister Wei," said Xu Jingzong, coming from below. For the ancient proverb says, "Just as spilled water cannot be retrieved, so a dead man can never return." Why do you mouth such empty words to vex our minds? What reason do you have for this? To tell you the truth, Mr. Xu, said Wei Zheng, I have been instructed since my youth in the arts of immortality. My calculations are most accurate, and I promise you that His Majesty will not die. As they were talking, they suddenly heard a loud voice crying in the coffin. "You've drowned me! You've drowned me!" It so startled the civil and military officials, and so terrified the queen and the ladies, that every one of them had a face brown as autumnal mulberry leaves, a body limp as the willow of early spring. The legs of the crown prince buckled. He could not hold the mourning staff to finish his rites. The soul of the steward left him. He could not wear the mourning cap to show his grief. The matrons collapsed. The ladies pitched sideways. The matrons collapsed. Like weak hibiscus blasted by savage wind. The ladies pitched sideways. Like lilies overwhelmed by sudden rain. The petrified lords, their bones and tendons feeble, trembled and shook, all dumb and awestruck. The whole White Tiger Hall was like a bridge with broken beams. The funeral stage resembled a temple wrecked. Every person attending the court ran away, and no one dared approach the coffin. Only the upright Xu Mogong, the rational Prime Minister Wei, the courageous Qin Qiong, and the impulsive Jingde came forward and took hold of the coffin. "Your Majesty," they cried, "if there's something bothering you, tell us about it. Don't play ghost and terrify your relatives." Then, however, Wei Zheng said, "He's not playing ghost. His Majesty is coming back to life. Get some tools, quick." They opened the top of the coffin and saw indeed that Taizong was sitting up inside, still shouting, "You've drowned me. Who bailed me out?" Mogong and the rest of them went forward to lift him up, saying, "Don't be afraid, Your Majesty, and wake up. Your subjects are here to protect you." Only then did the Tang Emperor open his eyes and say, "How I suffered just now. I barely escaped attack by spiteful demons from the region of darkness, only to encounter death by drowning." "Have no fear, Your Majesty," said the ministers. "What kind of calamity occurred in the water?" "I was riding a horse," the Tang Emperor said, "when we came near the Wei River where two fishes were playing. That deceitful Grand Marshal Zhu pushed me off my horse into the river, and I was almost drowned. His Majesty is still not entirely free from the influences of the dead," said Wei Zhen. He quickly ordered from the imperial dispensary medicinal broth, designed to calm his spirit and fortify his soul. They also prepared some rice gruel, and only after taking such nourishments once or twice did he become his old self again, fully regaining his living senses. A quick calculation revealed that the Tang Emperor had been dead for 3 days and nights, and then returned to life to rule again. We have thus a testimonial poem. From ancient times, how oft the world has changed. History is full of kingdoms that rise and fall. Countless were the wonders of Zhou, Han, and Jin, which could match King Tang's from death to life recall. By then it was dusk. The various ministers withdrew after they had seen the emperor retire. The next day, they took off their mourning garb and changed into their court attire. Everyone had on his red robe and black cap, his purple sash and gold medal, waiting outside the gate to be summoned to court. We now tell you about Taizong, who, having received the medicine prescribed for calming his spirit and fortifying his soul, and having taken the rice broth several times, was carried into his bedchamber by his attendants. He slept soundly that whole night, and when he arose at dawn, his spirit was fully revived.